Hello, Sai. Good to see you. You're the first one up. Where are you, Sai? Is the resolution and sound coming through okay? Good. Good. Hello, Asma. How are you, dear? Let me know where you guys are tuning in from, so at least I have an idea how far we're reaching and where are the people that we're talking to. Hello, Zaya. Again, everyone, please let me know which country you're tuning in from, so I'll have this vision, this idea that where you guys are, it'll be more fun. Zaya is in Washington. Okay, now I have a mental picture to direct my voice to that way. And Asma says, hi, I'm fine, thank you. I'm from Morocco. Aha, Morocco, wow. Beautiful place, I hear. I've never been there. But one of my colleagues in a different business, he's visited there with his wife, and he talked so highly about Morocco. What I know about Morocco, there are beautiful horses there, that's for sure. Carol, hello, dear. Carol is from Los Angeles. Carol Lynn. Actually, I did have a friend named Carol Lynn, or Lynn Carol. That was Lynn Carol. When I was in school, in university. Similar name. Christina from Athens. Wow, that's lovely. Lovely white beaches, white little homes, little houses, beautiful place. I remember when my father was alive, years back, my father and my mom traveled to Greece and they enjoyed themselves. So I hear lots of good things about it. So, while everybody else is joining us, bit by bit, we can have any kind of a short or long questions. You can throw it in now, and I'll read them as soon as I see them, and then we'll go through our discussion. As you know, this opportunity has been facilitated to us, afforded to us by the good people of the Witty Feed on this Facebook page of the amazing things in the world. And we've been fortunate to have their support and interest for us to have this discussions about topics of breakups, relationships, matters to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, ego, and desire. And we've been having these talks for the past year and almost a half now, a year and a bit, a year and a few months. I think we started last June 2016 or August, one of these 2 months. And it is now live talk number 96. We've been pretty much having 2 live talks a week, one at my own Facebook page, Mind That Seeks Truth, which the link is up there, and one on Sundays, 99% of the Sundays. Sometimes I was lazy, I was busy, I could not do it, on the Amazing Things in the World Facebook page. And I am grateful for this opportunity and would like to send my special regards to the good and talented people of the Witty Feed in Indore, India. Now, we will look for your questions and we will start. Atharva says, hello, uncle. Hello, dear. Good morning from Whittyfield, India. Yes, yes, yes. Good. I was just talking about you guys. Glad to hear you here. Glad to have you here. Now, Imi says, hi. Hello, Imi. Where are you, Imi? Just let me know where you guys are located, so it will give me that wonderful feeling of knowing which countries I'm being viewed at. Chad says, best advice for a brand new marriage? Don't do it. or do it making sure that you guys have bonded on the consciousness level and not just for the support or the comfort or the physical interests and attractions, which are all short and temporary. And in order to make it a longer lasting relationship and a more fulfilling, it must be tuned in on the basis of consciousness and how each one is interacting with life and with each other. And that knowledge would help you to know that there will be conflicts and divisions, and that is natural because your consciousness have been put together differently, even if you were born and raised in the same city. What you've been exposed to, what you have been interested in, the kind of people that have been influencing you, your teachers, your religion, your dogmas, your rules and regulations, and the people that you met, and culture and traditions, and whatever it is that, even so you're from the same country maybe, but each family has their own little culture and traditions. All of these have shaped your consciousness, and this consciousness is what you act, react, feel, and do whatever you do in negotiating your daily lives. And that is how you're interacting with each other. So if there would be conflicts and divisions, that is an understandable. Not that one should be exactly the mirror of the other one, and if not, then it's a bad man or a bad woman. You would have to understand these and expect these and try to communicate well, and with this knowledge go into your building a solid relationship. I hope that would be a little bit for you to think about. Hello, Prince. Good to see you. And Chad is from California. And now hopefully he's thinking about what he's about to embark on. You're welcome, Chad. I wish you luck and wonderful years to come with your, I think you're getting married, and just be patient with each other and try to communicate well and be as unselfish as you both can be. And that will be a good starting point. Now, let's see if we have anything else here that we can use for a topic of discussion. Okay, I guess everybody's drinking tea like me. Nobody's talking. Until then, I'll have a sip of this. Whatever you do in life, persevere. Never forget perseverance. Whatever plan you have, whatever you want to achieve in life, it's all good dreams. But unless you persevere, nothing really happens. Let me tell you a joke on this perseverance. There was this butcher shop in town, and this rabbit comes from the mountain into the town looking for food. Enters the butcher shop, and it says to the butcher, "Do you have carrots?" The butcher says, what? Get out of here. This is a butcher shop. We don't have carrots. So, kicks the rabbit out. The next day, rabbit comes from the mountain down again, goes to the same butcher shop, says, do you have carrots? He says, I told you I don't have carrots here. This is butcher shop. Get out of here. Don't bother me. This is my business. And don't interrupt my business. So throws the, pushes the rabbit out. Next day, rabbit comes back to the same butcher shop, says, do you have carrots? He says, listen, you're bothering the hell out of me. This is a butcher shop. We don't have carrots here. If you come here one more time, I'm going to throw you out and beat the crap out of you. So throws the carrot out. Throws the rabbit out. Rabbit comes the next day, again, the same butcher shop, says, do you have carrots? The butcher goes nuts and grabs the rabbit and beats the crap out of the rabbit and breaks all the rabbit's teeth without the teeth and throws him out. Rabbit comes back the next day to the same butcher shop, says, do you have carrot juice? And that is perseverance. Never give up on what you're looking for. And eventually, hopefully, you will have better luck to find it. I hope you enjoyed the little joke. And now, let's get on with our discussions here. Dan says, hello, Mehran. Hello, dear. Ashutosh says, can you explain us about mind? Oh, we're back. I thought I lost you guys. Because this connection sometimes goes weird. Now, but I've learned now, I won't touch it until it comes back. So, Ashutosh says, can you explain us about Mind That Seeks Truth? Mind That Seeks Truth is the name of the Facebook page that I have and the name of the site. www.mindthatseekstruth.com is where my books, the books that I've written, you can look at the table of contents, you can read a sample chapter, you can watch 10 minutes of the 1-hour seminar I did at the local university on the end of fear, the relationship between fear, thought, and time. And it's a place where you can book a one-on-one consultation, a Skype consultation, which I do that all around the week with people around the world. And through that we can connect, and we can talk about, explore the issues that you're facing with. And of course there are VIP there, which are the videos that are not necessarily all on YouTube. You can just get a membership of, I don't know, a couple of dollars a month or something, and there are videos there. And that basically is what my site is all about. So that's Mind That Seeks Truth. But if you're talking about why that name, is because I like to discuss about things to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego. And these are all what makes us to deal with what we are facing with in life. And that is where the truth is, whatever is in our consciousness. And we use our consciousness to interact with life. We perceive things in life based on what's been stored here, rather than based on what the actuality of things are. So we are searching for the truth, and we are trying to develop our mind into a mind that deals with the truth, see things clearly as they are, as they are arising, not as perceiving something similar that happened before, and on that basis they're interacting with what is happening here. So pretty much that's all I could do. Beside all that, it's just a name. You have to have a name anyhow for what we do. So I hope that would give you something to think about, Ashutosh, or at least answers part of your question. Stefan says, how does PMA really works? Well, there's so many abbreviations. Why don't you tell me what do you mean by PMA here, because it doesn't come to my mind right away. Paramental something, but okay. No. Don says, are you drinking carrot juice? Actually, no. I didn't go to that butcher, so no, I can still eat carrots. Yes, it's related to emotional, but explain to me exactly what you mean and what your question would be, because abbreviations, I'm not really so familiar with all abbreviations. Ashutosh asks, sir, is this related to emotional intelligence? I don't know what you mean by emotional intelligence. It is related to understanding where thoughts come from. What is the relationship between thoughts and consciousness? Where is the role of ego and desire, and how desire is born? What is ego? Where does that come from? What is fear? How fear takes shape in us? What are the ingredients, or what are the elements that brings about fear? What are forces at work? What are the logics that brings fear, anxiety, and so on? Pretty much that is the basis and the depth of what we want, how far we want to go in these discussions. Batur says, hi sir, how are you? Thank you, dear. Good to see you here. Melody says, what about toothless rabbit? that was the end of the joke. I hope you stuck around till the end of the joke. All right. Now we're looking for some questions, guys. We ran out, so there we are. Let's see if we have some fresh questions. Doesn't look like we have anything here. Some days we're inundated with questions, and we don't have enough time to answer them all, and some days we just have to wait for them. And I guess this is one of those days. Well, at least it's very cool and chilly and cozy here. Overcast, rain. So, where are you guys? You've been waiting for a week, and when you come here, you don't have questions all written up, ready to go? What do you think it is? A comic show? If you don't have any questions, then I leave you alone and I go about my other appointments. Thank you, Melody. You too. Now, Chad says, with the new marriage came a 10-year-old stepson. Any advice on how to approach step parenting best? Well, you're in a interesting water, and you have to become a swimmer. You can't just pretend that you're swimming in this ocean, a new event of your life. You have married a woman, and you have a stepson. So whether it's a stepson or not, you got to be that role model that any child deserves to have. An upstanding citizen, upstanding role model, caring, unselfish. Do not bully him. Do not make him feel uncomfortable. It's very new for him. Another man with his mother. This is not easy for him. If you think it's not easy for you, you got to look at things from his point of view. It's not easy for him. You must gain his trust. Become his friend. Make sure he understands you are not there to take advantage of his mom. You're there to bring a life for the three of you. And do not badmouth his father at all. Do not say anything negative about his father. Regardless, you have to understand, you don't want to be his father. You want to be, as a parent, a responsible guardian. But you will respect his father in his presence, at least. And you will make sure that you understand your role is to be a good friend to him, a guardian. Does not mean that you expect him to accept you as a father, but you just want him to accept you as someone that is positive to his life and wants to be helpful, wants to share, wants to do things that is good and to his advantage. Maybe it's homework you want to help out with. Don't expect him to respect you just because now you sleep with his mom. You got to understand, at that age, he's very impressionable. It's a whole new thing for him to digest. You should be the man who understands what he might be going through and become part of the solution, not a bigger problem. He already has a problem seeing another man with his mom, a whole new situation. He has to deal with many other aspects. His dad's relationship with his mom pissing his dad off by having married somebody else, maybe, who knows, and your connection with his dad. Just don't go on a power trip. Just make sure you will be a good friend. You will be an advisor, not a boss, not a bully, not the guy who says, I'm with your mom, so you also got to comply to what I tell you to do. Create a balanced, positive, cordial environment, safe environment, physically and mentally safe environment for both the mother and the child. You have come into their lives, so you got to present yourself in the best light that you can. It's pretty much a little bit for you to think about, and I'm sure you would be clever and attend to these important matters. Understand, he's more important than you are. If you have that mentality, everything will work out fine. Melody says, is it hard having a long distance relationship in different nationalities? Absolutely. I usually don't like any long distance relationship. Usually they end up with breakup, because we as an entity are made from two different parts, mind and body. Both have their own rules and both have their own needs and expectations. And what brings that elusive psychological security into one's life is a combination of the mind, mental connection, and a physical connections to bring that security that each one is expected in a relationship. Now, if you are far away and you're talking on Skype or internet or whatever, however, phone, mentally you're trying to satisfy each other by communication, the energy, good words, and words have power, and they extend to each other, and you feel good about each other. But then there is the element of the physical connection that is missing. Going somewhere together, experiencing the real life, having dinner together, maybe playing a game, I don't know, tennis or soccer or whatever it is, the activity, a walk by the beach or walk somewhere or run or some activity, physical activity that is going to be missing. Some interaction with the family and with other friends of each other to know how you guys, to be able to see how really the other person interacts in real life situations rather than just the lovey-dovey for an hour on the phone with everybody looks nice and talks, speaking, I miss you, I love you, all that feeling. That's not going to be enough. Eventually, you want to see each other in action, how you negotiate life in presence of other people, other situations, real life situations, little challenges or things that happens. You want to see how you act and react. These things are missing. And eventually, but that's part of the need of a human being in order to have a, balanced connection with someone. And that eventually is going to override that fun that you have or pleasantry that you have on the phone. And each may meet somebody, not necessarily that that person would be better than the one that you have a long distance relationship with, but you will meet someone because of that other part of the need. And then you will see them how react and interact with life, and that would become more of a reality and actuality to you, and you'll be drawn to that, and eventually you break up with this person that you worked or were in a long distance relationship with for about a year or so. So generally, unless you guys meet each other, I don't know, every week at least, it's going to be very challenging. That's what I have to say about that. It reminds me of that movie. I forgot the name. All right. Questions, guys? Time is passing. We only have an hour. I think we've finished about 40 minutes of it. You're welcome, Melody. So let's see what the time is. 11:48. Oh, okay. We have about half an hour or so, so I would like to see some more questions here, so we will be fruitful, spending our time wisely here. I think we haven't been on the amazing things in the world for a week. I don't remember if we had last week we were here or not. Perhaps not. So maybe people have lost their regular habit to join us. Lucas says, have you ever thought of an idea becoming a physical matter? I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Becoming a physical matter? I need elaboration on this. I don't understand the question. Lucas? Dominic says, is it wrong to let your ex behind with the new boyfriend and my kids? Wrong or right, you have nothing to do with it, Dominic. It's the world we live in. Freedom. As long as your ex is responsible and understands that the children must be protected at all times, and a new guy comes into the picture, doesn't matter how infatuated she is with him, she must put the children first. And there's no doubt about that. That's not a negotiable thing. So if she understands that, then it's okay. But if she trusts the guy without knowing really who this guy is for long enough time, and just because she sleeps with him, that doesn't justify him to be trustful or trustable towards interaction with the kids, unless he has proven himself through time. And also, you need to also have a discussion with your wife about these serious matters to make sure that the children would not in any way mentally or physically be abused. So these are matters of concern. So it's not the matter of wrong or right, Of course, it's not something that anybody would prefer. But that's the kind of a society we have come to be. These things are not really seem to be so special anymore. It happens everywhere. But through communication and through proper advice between the two of you, the ex-husband and wife, and if the children are very minor, you should still teach the children certain precautions. If the guy is new, don't leave the child or children alone at home with the guy. You don't know. Lots of people look nice and behave nice and proper when other adults are around, but suddenly they turn into whatever else they may be. So these are the things you got to discuss with your wife, and for the best interest of the children, you must have this conversation together and be coordinated, that children are more important than her relationship with the new boyfriend. Boyfriends, girlfriends come and go, but the effect of their behavior on the minor children is going to be very important to make sure it's not going to be negative. So through conversation and communication, you can come up with certain kind of policies between you and your ex, and for the good of the children, not that she would listen to you, or you would, she wants to show that she's independent, she doesn't care, her decisions goes well. None of that matters. What matters is, are the children safe? Are they being taken care of properly? Have you both considered their mental stability, physical security, and all of that? And that would mean to make sure she will filter these guys to come and go, or however the relationship would be, and put the children first. That's her first priority. So the conversation, communication would be fruitful. Now, let's see what else we have here. Valerie. Hello, Valerie. How to deal with jealousy? We had if you go on my YouTube channel and go on the channel and search, in my channel, search, put down jealousy, I think you will get one or two videos, or at least bits that we discussed. I don't remember what I discussed there, as usually I don't remember what comes out of my mouth a little later on. But you have to focus on what is jealousy. Why is there jealousy? Jealousy for what? What does that mean to be jealous? Why should you be jealous? Ever since childhood, you've been conditioned to want to be more. And that has created a certain kind of a comparison, a competition with other people, that you should be more than they are. You should be more in general, that's how your conditioning has been, and you should also think that you should be more than the other people. And that is causing you to think that there is something as jealousy. What is jealousy? What does that mean? Does that make you feel more or less if you are doing something better than somebody else, or you know more about something than somebody else, or you don't? None of that really matters. What matters is how you negotiate life, how you're kind to yourself, to the ones that you care, the ones who are around you, how positively you affect the society and community you live in. The jealousy, what does that do? Whether you have this much money or that much money, whether you're prettier or not so pretty than the other person, whether you run faster or not so, whether you play better tennis or you don't, whether you have more credibility in your academic research or you don't. That has nothing to do with humanity and human relations. If you can treat people fairly and correctly and kindly, that is all it matters. It doesn't matter who has more, who is bigger, smaller, more educated, not educated. That doesn't make a person a human being, a good human being. It's all about how we treat each other, how we affect our society in a positive way, how we are helpful, how we help the society and the community we live in develop and grow. And what is our signature? on this journey of life. So jealousy really means nothing. It's something that you have been conditioned to think it matters if you are better than somebody else. And you should be. Otherwise, you something wrong with you or something less than the other person. These are all conditionings. They have no meaning. Because, not that it matters, but for something that you're not as good as somebody else, there could be something that you're better than somebody else. So, it evens up. But even if it doesn't even up, who cares? Who's better than me in something? Good, if they are positive for the society, help people to grow out of their problems and help them develop better. We're all in it together. So jealousy means nothing to me. I don't remember having ever in my childhood or adulthood been jealous of anything, anybody, any way, any shape or form. I just don't have that, because I don't see that as any kind of anything. Why would anybody even be concerned about comparing himself about what other people have or don't, whether it's a relationship or a car or money or power, whatever it is, means nothing. Being a good human being has nothing to do with what you've attained, learned, or become. It's about how you treat the loved ones, other people on this earth, the nature, yourself, how in harmony you are. And then you have nothing to be jealous about, because that's the higher end of our existence anyhow. The more we become in harmony with the nature, with life energy itself, that's where it's all at. The rest of it is just material stuff. And you want to compare yourself with something that is so belittling or so not so valuable things. You compare yourself, value yourself, measuring by things, which creates your jealousy, because you're comparing what you have, who you are, what you are with the other people. Don't do that. You are wonderful. Everybody is wonderful. You're just as good as you can get, and you can always get better. The sky is the limit. So who cares about jealousy or what other people can or cannot do or have or do not have? Anyhow, that's something for you to think about. Kay says, good morning, Mehran. So honored to be listening live. Oh, Kay, good to see you, dear. I'm glad that you made it. Dominic says, thanks. And Lucas says, let me explain. An idea is created in your brain and is represented by electrochemical reactions, Lucas says. If it is electricity and we can measure it, it is a fact, a material pattern. I mean, at least the electrons are material. So what is the starter? When does an idea become material? An idea is created in your brain, but where is that idea coming from first? Are you talking about the material process of the brain? Emotion, thought, material process, how the brain works. And you're thinking that that material process is material. Well, where is that material process that has its pictorial in your brain got its pictorial? Where did the picture come from? It didn't come from material process. The picture of it comes from what you have been conditioned and have stored in your memory through the imprints that you have received of your experiences through life. If we remember how we talked about how thought is born, that may help you to put this into perspective. If you remember, long ago we talked about, imagine 50,000 years ago, or how many thousand years ago, whenever it was, a million years ago, whatever it was, I'm not sure. I'm not really that good in that department. That a caveman comes out of the cave, and just about that he's beginning to understand he has intelligence. So he goes and walks and puts his foot on a rock on an angle or something, or maybe the grass was wet, and it slips and falls. It hurts his knee. That action has given him an experience. And that experience has become knowledge to him. And that knowledge has been stored in his consciousness, memory. And the few other